Welcome to Neighbors Cooking, where kitchens meet and communities eat. Every week we explore the heart of our neighborhood, the kitchen, where treasured recipes and new friendships simmer together like the perfect stew. Today's show is extra special. Why? Well, for one, I have Joe back running my cameras, but the other thing is because we're not cooking for Joe tonight. What do you know? No leftovers for the boyfriend. We're going to craft a delicious dish for those with 4 paws. That's right. Today we're celebrating the bond between pet owners and their beloved companions by delving into the significance of nourishing our pets with the same love and attention we give to our own meals. Now, joining us in our culinary neighborhood this fine week is a very distinguished guest. He's not your conventional food critic, but he's been a connoisseur of fine dining for over 25 years. I want you to meet Gourmet. Come here, my little boy. Oh! This is Gomez, my charming 25-year-old pet, whose twinkling eyes and seasoned palate have savored for a quarter of a century nutritious, lovingly prepared meals. Now, Gomez is more than just a pet. He's a testament to the fact that with the right diet and care, our animals can be our loving friends by our side, in this case for 25 years. And today, he'll be right here wagging along as we discuss the wholesome ingredients and the balance that goes in to feeding and providing your pet-friendly feast. Because we believe that a healthy pet is a happy pet. So grab your apron, get your dogs ready, and maybe a little tag wagging going, because Neighbors Cooking is about to get positively delightful with my little Gomez by my side. Stay tuned as we cook, chat, and chew the fat about good eats, treats, and all the love that goes into every pet's dish. Because here at Neighbors Cooking, whether they meow or bark, they're part of our culinary family. So let's get cooking. Now, when preparing homemade dog food, it is crucial that the meal is balanced and provides all the necessary nutrients. I'm providing a simple recipe today that my dogs and many other dogs love. It's full of good balanced protein, carbohydrates, and vegetables. However, please remember, individual dogs and individual breeds have very specific and different dietary needs. And it's always best if you consult with a pet nutritionist or your vet before making any significant changes to their diets. Now, I'm going to share the ingredients that we're going to put into this right here. So into our recipe. This recipe will last both of my dogs 2 weeks together. So we're putting in 1.5 cups of cooked brown rice. We're going to put some olive oil into a pan. We're going to use 3 pounds of ground turkey or any other lean meat, 3 cups of baby spinach, and we're going to chop this up, a couple of carrots that have shredded up, some zucchini that we have spiraled. We're going to use a 1/2 cup or 1/4 cup, 2/3 of a cup, whatever you like, of frozen or fresh peas. You can use it right out of the can. Make sure you drain it if it's from out of the can. And we're going to use some supplements. This is a supplement that I use for the dogs. This is from Just for Dogs. You can get it at any national dog food supply or even some of your smaller ones, or even online for Just for Dogs. This is a complete nutritional blend that you add in after you've made your dog food that contains all of the things you might be missing in the ingredients that you've been putting into your food. Make no mistake, what we're preparing today is a great meal for your dogs. But dogs do have some requirements that you need to put some nutrients in. So keep an eye on your dog. If you're not using this and you're making their fresh food, keep an eye on them and make sure that their stamina is good and that they aren't having any upset stomachs or distresses, because it could be the food. The other thing some people do for their dogs, I don't agree with it. I don't feed my dogs raw food. It is a horrible idea. It's bad enough when humans eat raw food, but when dogs do and you put it in their bowl and they don't eat it all right away, like my little Gomez likes to pick sometimes, and that food will sit for a little bit. Uncooked food can get salmonella, it can get E. coli. There's all kinds of things it can get that will make your dog incredibly sick. I'm surprised humans eat sushi, to be honest with you, because just as many risks are present in those types of food. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to start off by cooking our meat. So I'm going to take a little bit of olive oil, Don't have any flavor in your olive oil, just regular olive oil. And we're going to start our meat, and we're just going to cook it in small batches until we get it all cooked. This is lean ground turkey, and the reason I use turkey is because it will provide the most protein for your dog. So in each serving, about a half cup of this meat, just the meat, you're getting about 32 grams of protein. Super good, super high in protein, and especially as your dogs get older, they need to have an increase in protein. Now, I can't promise your dog's going to live 25 years or any longer than it already has, but I will tell you, in the 25 years I've had Gomez, he has never gone to the vet except for his regular shots, and about 3 years ago when we had some dental problems and had to take out the remainder of his teeth. Other than that, he's had no vet visits. Now, can I claim that's all a matter of food? I probably can, to be honest with you. If you compare and look at some of the things that are in dog foods in the stores today, and there are a lot of choices, they're not all great choices. And some of the words and some of the ingredients sound great, but if you really read and investigate what those are, some of them, for instance, have chicken meal and ground up chicken beaks and claws and everything that was the chicken ground up into a meal to fill up your dogs, and it's not good for your dogs. It's not horrible, but it's not the best diet you can have for your dogs. If you want to keep them healthy with reasonable sized poops, which is what dog food also will give you, then watch what you're feeding them. Garbage in, garbage out, just like humans. If you eat bad food, you get the repercussions of it. Diabetes, obesity, high blood pressure. I mean, there's a million things that you can get from eating the wrong foods. So that's why I always stress that you eat the right foods also. Now, while that meat's starting to cook up, we're going to take this spinach that we got here. This is just baby spinach, and we're just going to rough chop it. And by rough chop, I just mean we're going to take a little bit and we're just going to go through and we're going to rough chop it up. Because remember, this is going to cook down when we have it in our pot. And so it's going to be perfect for the dogs. This isn't something they're going to have to chew. It's going to be very soft, but it is full of nutrition, iron, and the other things that even humans need out of their food. Now, I want to take a minute and also discuss what not to give your dogs. I know a lot of you are laptop doggy feeders or at your table doggy feeders. Please don't do that. I mean, ultimately, it's your choice how you feed your animals. But I'll tell you, there are things people feed their animals that are absolutely horrible, and the list is pretty long. So I actually wrote it down because I wanted to. Some of them are pretty common and you might not think are bad for dogs. So let's talk about a few of them. Grapes and raisins. Bad for dogs, great for humans. For dogs, they'll experience kidney failure, potential kidney failure from it. Onions and garlic. Don't give your dogs onions and garlic. It will give them anemia. Bad for your dog. Caffeine. If it gives you a high, imagine what it does to your dog. If you get that caffeine in the morning, your dog gets it 10 times worse and can have a heart attack or a stroke. So please don't give your dogs coffee. Even Joe would probably agree with that. Avocado. Interestingly enough, avocados can cause heart congestion and will also cause your dog to vomit. So, and again, another food item, even though it sounds healthy and it's healthy for humans, it is not healthy for dogs. Other things you should avoid is milk and dairy, gums and candy, and most importantly, don't give them human vitamins. Human-grade vitamins are designed for humans. And if you take a B12 complex powder pill and you empty it out to create this much, you're going to end up really making your dog ill. So be aware when you're making your dog's food. Be conscious about it. Research it. This is certainly not the only recipe on the internet that you could find for dog food. You might add pork, you might add chicken, you might add You could add ground beef. I'm not a big fan of beef in a dog's recipe, but you could add it. It's still high in protein as long as you get one that's not too fatty. So as this cooks up, put a little bit more in. And I have this handy dandy little tool that helps to crush it all. So it's, I don't know if you can see it here, it's got multi-sides on it, kind of in a quarter circle, and you put it in and turn it, and it just grinds up that turkey instead of trying to do it with a fork or however many other ways you might do it in your kitchen. You're ultimately, as this cooks down, you're going to want to make it crumbly and small, because remember, it's in my dog's case, neither of them have any teeth except for a couple of their front molars, and that's just because that left them in for protection. But the rest of their teeth are out, so they can't chew. Now, dogs typically don't chew. Dogs typically swallow. But they will chew if the pieces are too big, and then you risk also choking. So if you're doing all this work to keep your dogs healthy and alive, keep an eye on the sizes of the things that you're putting in there. So we're going to come back to our bowl here. So we've got this chopped baby spinach. We're going to add to it shredded carrots. So we're just going to put it in. Looks like a good salad, actually. We're going to add the peas. Now this zucchini that I purchased, you can either buy zucchini and get a spiraler, and you put the zucchini in it and you turn the spiraler around and you get a spiral, or you can do like I did, and you can buy it already spiraled right in the grocery store. So it's perfect. So we're gonna also cut that up into just a little bit smaller pieces. The object here is fresh, fresh, fresh. And into our bowl. Now the reason I decided to start making this today, and I'll be honest with you, my little guy Gomez, 25 years old, he's just not eating as well during this last week as I would hope that he would. So I thought I'd make a fresh batch specifically because I want to see if he'll at least eat a little bit of a fresh batch of food rather than maybe one that I've had in the refrigerator for a few days. I can only hope, and we'll see how he does when he's my taste tester at the end of this. My other puppy, I think I told you, Roxanne, she's 17 years old. She's an Australian Shepherd Corgi, and she's just a beautiful dog. She's on the other side of the counter. I know that she will run in and grab. So we mix all of this together. We're going to check our meat. And as the turkey cooks down, you're going to have moisture. And it's okay, you want to leave that moisture in there. It's good, it adds some fluids for the dogs. All right. All right. Let that keep cooking just for a couple more minutes. So some other things to consider when you are making dog food. If you decide to start using healthy dog food, I suggest that you slowly introduce it into your dog's current diet. Making a switch to different dog foods only works if you've done it since they've been young. So Roxy and Gomez have had a variety or a change of this type of food all through their lives. Sometimes it's pork, sometimes I use different vegetables, but it's basically always the same. So if you've been feeding your dog some type of dry food, or you've been feeding them a wet food, or even one of the fresh food packets that you get just for dogs, the farmer's dog, whatever, if you're going to introduce this, mix them together and start to slowly introduce it into their meals. It's also crucial to ensure that your dog, as I said, gets all the nutrients. So once you've made it, you make sure you've added the proper nutrients into the final piece. This will ensure that their health, status, and activity stays really good. As I also remember, this recipe does lack certain nutrients. It's great, it's healthy, it's clean, and it will give dogs most of what they want, but this is necessary, this supplement is necessary. Also, making sure you don't add anything that's toxic. Garlic, as I said, onions, chocolate, grapes, raisins, macadamia nuts. None of those things are good for dogs. Don't add it into this just because you think it's healthy. If you're in question, send us a note over here at Neighbors Cooking. I'll answer it for you, or just research on the internet what's healthy and what's not to put into homemade dog food. And remember, always discuss with your vet if you're planning on making this big of a change into their food, because you do want to make sure that your breed or your dog is going to be okay with it. Because not all pets are the same. Some have allergies, some have food allergies, some have other allergies, and we want to make sure that we're not harming the ones we love with this. So, our turkey looks just about done. Nice and crumbled up. And now we're just going to incorporate what we've just made right into the pan. And we're going to let that start to cook down. Hey, mister. I think he knows that I'm making him some fresh food because he's sitting right here in my kitchen smelling it. So let me see if I can get him to eat a little tiny piece. Gomez, a little piece. You ate it. Oh my goodness. Good boy. That makes me so happy. He's eating. You know, I think the hardest thing to deal with is the maturity of your pets. As you know, Gomez has spent 25 years with me. That's, you know, more than a third of my life. He has been by my side through partners, through businesses, through travel, through ups and through downs, through medical emergencies and great health. He has been by my side, and he has been an amazing companion. And it's been my privilege to be able to cook for him and treat him as he should be, with good food, just like I expect to eat and what I expect to share with my friends. I think you can see on the camera, this just all starts to cook down. And we're just going to wait until all the vegetables have really cooked down a little bit, a couple more minutes. Got those peas in there. And when you do make this, before you put it in the fridge, I want to make sure that you've cooled it down. So you don't want to put hot food into the fridge just like your own food. You don't want to put that hot into your fridge. Always make sure you bring that food up to room temperature before you put it in the fridge. It will stay longer, it will stay fresher, and you can be sure about what you're eating. I put it into a stainless steel bowl just like this. It has a top that goes on top, and so I can just scoop out of it. I feed my dogs about half a cup in the morning and a half a cup at night, unless they seem extra hungry, and then I give them a little bit extra. I'm going to save this for the next batch. All right. So if you are a person that orders just for dogs or farmer's pet, you can see that in this pan, I basically have the same thing that you're going to get from them. All right? It's taken us all of about 15-20 minutes to make this. Once it cools off, it will be the perfect dish for your dogs. All right. So I'm going to add that back into the bowl. Whoops. All right. And now I've got this beautiful mix. And you could eat this. It's not seasoned. I'll prove to you that it won't kill you. But it is bland, and it's meant to be bland. Salt, peppers, garlic, none of those things do you need to add. The dog's not really interested in the flavor as much as they are in eating. And what we're doing here is we're just making sure that they are getting a great meal. Now you might ask me what does this cost? I did some research today, if I was to purchase Farmer's Dog or Just for Dogs, the frozen foods, the fresh foods, for both of my dogs, it would cost me about $250 a month. $250. And that's great for people that are on the go and they've got the extra money to spend. I say bravo, you should, at least you're giving your dogs great food and not giving them bad food. But for the rest of us, the ones who can't necessarily afford $250 a month, this will cost you for 2 dogs about $80 a month. So you're saving about $130, $140 a month, and you know exactly what your dogs are getting, and you know exactly how they're reacting to it. What do you give your dogs, Joe?
I can't remember the name of it. I know it's expensive.
It's expensive. All right. Is it ordered online?
No.
No.
It's
So
PetSmart.
you buy it from the local pet store. All right.
Yeah.
And it's frozen?
No, it's
Fresh.
Fresh and dried food. She gets a mix.
Oh, so she gets a mix of a dried food and a fresh food. Well, we'll send some of this home for Bella tonight, and she probably will stick her nose up to anything else that you decide you want to give her. Now, once we have all this made, we want to add our extra vitamins. Mix that in there well. And you have created a dog treat that they are going to love you for and be around with you for more and more and more. I've been blessed to have Gomez and Roxy 25 and 17 years. I hope that by sharing this recipe, each of you will have the opportunity to have your beloved pets by your side for the longest amount of time possible. I cherish my pets. I can't imagine not being with them, but I certainly know that I have extended their life for the better for at least 25 years. So with that, Gomez, let's say our goodbyes. Say bye, everybody. You smell that? Mmm. And he's already in it. Yay! Good boy. I'm going to give you a bowl in just a minute. So thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week on the next episode of Neighbors Cooking. Enjoy your lives. Enjoy your day. And remember, if it's not in the kitchen, it's not special. We'll see you later. Have a great week.